3v3 Argus Desert Gate blue team. Kicking us off is handsome SoDding Superman, plays a Warboss melee commander that walks through cover. Very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. This is Freebooters DLC. Alongside, Necrophagist plays an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. This is Ultramarines DLC. Rounding out blue team is StaRz iTrikXZz. This is a 13-year-old girl or something. Plays a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, good DPS. Can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair, but is not incredibly tough. Up against on this western lane is johnsoul, quadruple 4. Plays a plague champion, starts out range combat with this damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, good versatility and utility, can build turrets and repair, but lacks mobility. Alongside, Russian fellow, I'm told this is pronounced РАЗБЕГ, so that's what we'll go with. Plays a Grey Knight brother captain, durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed, fights in melee combat, good offense and support. And he's going to join SuperHooper on this east side, who plays a Lord General, defensive and support commander that fights range combat, begins with this retinue to help him out, which he can add to throughout the game. Huge conflicts kicking off, and here comes Necrophagist to support. I think it's going to be a bit too late though. Handsome SoDding Superman taking lots of losses. Strike squad there, standing and shooting range combat. They should be forcing melee, they should be using melee stance pretty much all the time, I think, in early engagements, unless you're up against Howling Banshees, and even then it might be worth it with double Stormtrooper support, which is what РАЗБЕГ has gone for. Apothecary heals himself, but he's going to need to run away here, I think, taking tons of damage, and does run away. Brother Captain now wants to tie up his tactical marines. Now walk through that cover, there we go. Scouts getting close to losing on model. And it looks like red team have won this engagement. They will now push the eastern power. Meanwhile, west side, we have a point blank firefight between the plague champion and Mekboy. Mekboy teleports out to that heavy cover, and the Bile Spirit is up. Awesome flamer type weapon that dissolves things to the ground rather than burning them. Absolutely owning these generators. Very, very strong versus structures. It is relatively short range though. As you can see here, he's not able to use it while in cover, and he's taken a lot of damage by that Mekboy, who has his big shoot up. Daka. Now with the battery pack as well, can support his sluggers with this. He should go for a pain boy, I think. We'll see though. 486, 492. Lord General backing off. The retinue members of the Lord General will always die first, so he can be quite a durable commander in that sense. Very rare that you see him go down unless the player really isn't paying attention. Warbosses will get a stomp, needs to run away. Here comes Sluggers with Ardboys up. That's a global buff from the Warboss. 25% reduced damage from all sources, and they force the strike squad into the garrison, who are shooting out with their storm bolters, that very tight firing pattern that they have, burst fire. Now they're running away. Shooter boys forcing melee on retreat. These guys with big shooters and knob leaders, so relatively expensive but very high DPS squads now. The big shooter is getting a slight nerf in 2.2. It's going to get its damage reduced slightly. 461, 486, and blue team capping red's natural victory point in the north. Blue team do have their own natural in the south, and that contested on the east side. Blue team have a triple cap now, 461, 472. johnsoul has some havocs up. A setup team that begin with a heavy bolter which will suppress infantry, and it will suppress them instantly. Look at that. Suppress very, very quickly, even amongst setup teams, and forces off that entire orc blob. Looks like we have knob leaders up for these shooter boys as well on this side. Heretics was an aspiring champion. The other squad with grenade launchers, so there's quite a little versatile tier 1 army here. johnsoul. 461, 422. Still that full retreat from StaRz. East side is kicking off again. Red team trying to push back after getting pushed all the way back themselves. Warboss, look at this, has the enhanced custom shooter, and there is shooting good. That knockback and damage. This thing does insane DPS. It's something like 40 DPS, I think. It's crazy. It has huge range as well. Warboss primarily a melee commander, of course you want to get him in melee and disrupt stuff, but it does give him a really good ranged option. 461, 369, we'll see if he can make it work. It was a strange choice I think, because he can't knock down the brother captain with it, and the Lord General has a retinue, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to knock down all of the models from this, but we'll see how he does with it. Maybe he's going to use it on Strat Squad models and such. 461, 355. Brother Captain has gone down incidentally, I didn't see how it happened. Stormtroopers capping, we have a bunch of idle Chaos forces, should be pushing against this victory point. No, they're coming west again. Plague Champion, I think he needs Mucus Discharge or something to support usage of this Bile Spewer. If those upgraded Shooter Boys and that Mekboy pressure him, he's going to lose health very, very quickly. Here come Heretics with a Sparring Champion and Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines getting caught by the Sluggers, needing to retreat. There's a War, boosting the speed and damage of all Orc units that use it at the same time. Great effect depending on how many units use it. Heretics with grenade launchers forced off. The Aspiring Champion squad is still around, and this Havoc is still around. Should have pushed up I think to support. Looks like StaRz knows that it's there and is just going to push against the natural victory point in mid. Lots and lots of Daka here. Looters are up for Handsome SoDding Superman. Set up team for Orcs. That's suppressed with this big death gun. They can also infiltrate, which is interesting for them. And a heavy weapon squad as well with their own heavy bolter, which will also suppress. You see it suppressing these shooters, taking a lot of damage here. And they retreat. Shooters with a Knob Leader are also a detector unit, which is why they have that eye indicator above their icon. Plague Champion taking tons of damage here. What is he up to? Now he runs away. There we go. Level 2 up to 714 hit points. Does start with a decent amount of hit points for a ranged commander. 680. More than a Tech Marine. I think the Tech Marine's 630. Mekboy is 600 I believe. Yes. 434, 333. And a full retreat from the Orcs. They did decap. Just too much stuff for them there to stay. So 1-to-1, 434, 333. Gonna get a 2-to-1 though, red team. And here's a Razorback, the first tier 2 unit we've seen up from Necrophagist. Support and transport vehicle for Space Marines. Will also allow all of your allies to reinforce their troops and get inside it if they want. Can carry 4 units at a time. Commanders count as units. Has a twin-linked heavy bolter on top, which does decent damage. Doesn't suppress though. He's leading the lines with it here. What they can do in response. Purifiers are up. Dedicated melee squad, a really powerful melee squad, have power melee weapons, and the Justicar has a heavy melee demon hammer. As you can see, they're making short work of the Sluggers, and they wipe out. Painful. Strat squad do not have their Justicar yet. 427, 333. Shooter Boys putting that scary DPS on Heretics who run away, didn't able to decap here. Heretics with grenade launchers capping. Plague Champion hanging back. Almost level 3. 427, 322. And this is a flank on Necrophagist by the Grey Knight player РАЗБЕГ. Purifiers going after the Apothecary. Look at the damage they do. And he goes down. They also have the longest charge range in the game. That's the passive melee charge that melee units have. Using it to chase here. Apothecary lasted seconds against these guys. Also very tough. Over 2,000 hit points at level 1 when they have their Justicar. They are not cheap though. 575 I think. And then you need to purchase the Justicar separately. 420, 316. Heretics didn't finish reinforcing, but they're going to suppress this Shooter Boy blob. That was a bit sloppy from StaRz. They are very, very bunched up here. And one squad is forced off. He's going to go straight for this VP again, I think. What's going on here? Weird Boy up. And Sluggers alongside. Has the Warpath. Can support those Sluggers with a movement buff. Also boosts melee damage, I believe now, in Elite Mod. East side all kicking off again. Another weird boy up here for Handsome Sodding Superman. Such a strong sub commander if you know how to use him and can micro his abilities well. Brother Captain moving in, doesn't have any war gear, is level 2, up to 1050 hit points. There is the psychic field from the purifiers doing plasma damage per second, which increases the longer that it's on the field. Weird boy just backs away though. 401, 306, tier 3 for Necrophagist, and RAZBEG is floating insane amounts of Brett. He should repurchase these generators. And Plague Marines now for johnsoul, who has a Chaos Dreadnought with this auto cannon by default, small area of effect with good damage to all targets. Gonna be nasty for the double shooters all bunched up. Apothecary back to his feet, level 2. Here's a Manticore strike. The Storm Eagle misses everything though. It's SuperHoopers, here you see it. Heavy artillery piece. Need to manually target each shot though. 401, 288. Apothecary stealing this bunker. I think it's just a default bunker right now. I don't see any health regen on this Apothecary unless it's a repair bunker. Stormtroopers decapping Blue's natural. Purifiers backing them up. Still level 1. Warboss doesn't really want to fight them. I don't think he does have the boss power, and he's using shoot 'em good on one of the models, but the other 3 come up and smack him in the face. There's a stomp. He's going to try and fight them there. This is crazy. He might go down in retreat. There's the charge. Bang. No, saved by the weird boy. Wow. That was a good save. johnsoul completely pushing back on this west side with a Dreadnought. Chaos Space Marines bringing up the rear. No upgrades for these guys yet. Heretics forced off by Zap, one of the starting abilities that the weird boy has. And Tank Busters, a good DPS anti-vehicle squad, putting a bit of pressure on his Dreadnought. The Plague Champion himself can repair it, and he is doing so. 401, 279. Tank Busters, very inaccurate versus infantry. There's a Tank Buster barrage though. And look at the damage that thing does. Wow, combined with another volley. But they are forced off in the end. Plague Marines pushing up as well. Durable squad with a missile launcher that snares vehicles. Cause all sorts of problems to your enemy with their sheer staying power and the fact that they explode when they die. Here's a Grey Knight Dreadnought. Begins with a multi-melter, good damage to all targets from short range. Look at the damage it did to that Apothecary there. Does fire very slowly. Now forcing melee on the Apothecary, who heals himself. There's a special attack. Missile tactical marines getting shots and needs to tie them up or something. Now he's going to take out the Apothecary with a retreat hit. There we go. How many times has this guy gone down? Sentinel with a missile launcher for SuperHooper level 2. Heavy turret is up as well. And an autocannon heavy weapon team. He's starting to set up shop here with a medical bunker, I believe that is. 344, 279. Can tell because these guys are regenerating health, those green hexagons. Warboss is going to try and revive the Apothecary, but taking tons of damage and retreats out. Level 2. Razorback still around, also level 2. Knob squad on the field for StaRz. This is going to shake it up big time on the west side. Could push through and go straight for that Dreadnought. Use Frenzy and swarm the Havocs even. Looks like he's waiting for them to come onto the field. They are getting the Nobby, they're not getting meaner and green. That's a huge mistake. Has to get through this suppression first. 335, 279. And he's going to lose his engagement badly, I think. There's a Noxious Cloud. I don't think he spotted it. Global ability of the Plague Champion. And there it goes. Look at the damage. That is a terrible, terrible engagement for StaRz. Knob squad trying to move in, but they don't have meaner and greener. And that was a huge mistake not getting it. And getting a Knob leader instead. And terrible engagement for him. Blue team are pushing through mid though. Handsome forcing off some stormtroopers with sluggers. User choppers on them. East side meanwhile. I hear a rocks. There it is. Not sure how much it did. We seem to have a bewildered strike squad model standing around, so that perhaps they were caught in it. Dreadnought being chased. Apothecary is not going to do a lot with his chainsaw though. This strat squad needs to run away, РАЗБЕГ. Where are the purifiers at? They're still level 1 and their backup base needs to get stuff moving. 335, 270. Here comes some Orks from Handsome to support, and a beamy death gun looter is up. Down goes that dreadnought. That thing does insane damage per shot. Warboss with a power claw now. I don't think the enhanced custom shooter paid off. It was just the wrong matchup to try and use it in against the brother captain and the Lord General, I think. Plague champion kitting himself out. Plague fist, armor of pestilence, and the icon of Nurgle on the way is going to be a melee monster now. Very good counter to melee as well with pestilence strike. 335, 247. Lord General has his sniper rifle. Fire on my target. There's a manticore strike, misses everything. In fact, just damages his allied bunker. Also has stabilizers, which are a bit overpowered at the moment. Probably going to be adjusted for 2.2. Havoc suppressing this green blob. Mekboy teleports in. Didn't seem to be able to tie them up though. And now this dreadnought has Mark of Corn. Gives it those 2 close combat claws, nasty heavy melee DPS with splash and blood rage, which makes it even more scary. Might see it here. Here's a Nob squad. There's pestilence strike, stunning, all of this stuff. Look at this. Look how bunched up he is. That's crazy. And there is pestilence strike, blood rage, and noxious cloud, which wasn't moved. Lose control of your dreadnought with blood rage, where it does more damage, takes less damage, and is faster. I think it's 40% more damage now with blood rage up, which is crazy. 327, 210. StaRz is struggling on that side. Blue team doing better on the east though. They still have it, making good inroads mid. You can't even hold this power though, StaRz. It's even been noded. How much power income do they have? Plus 74. Look at this. 316, 210 compared to plus 27. Huge disparity in the economies now. Here's a Land Raider Redeemer though, up from Necrophagist. Basically a mobile base with a bunch of nasty close range guns on it. Multi-melter, 2 heavy flamers, flamestorm cannons, and a twinning to assault cannon, which is slightly longer range, as you can see, firing on that strike squad there. 313, 208. Don't want to overextend this thing. It's not really the kind of vehicle you want leading the lines, I don't think. Very, very slow. 1 vehicle snare on it, and it's basically a sitting duck. Here comes a Mark of Corn dreadnought. Can't wait to get its claws onto it. Going straight after it here. Multi-melter is getting shots. Big engagement now. Warboss is forced off. Plague champion doing his thing with Icon of Nurgle. There's blood rage smacking on the Land Raider Redeemer. Weird boys there. Everything going after the dreadnought, trying to force it off this Land Raider. Land Raider taking tons of damage. Here's a Manticore strike. The Manticore strikes do huge damage to vehicles, so they are very, very dangerous for super heavy vehicles that are slowed. Down goes the dreadnought, thanks to the Warboss, who's level 3 now, has heavy armor, so he's incredibly tough. Over 2,000 hit points just at level 3. 313, 177. Land Raider lives and now has Terminators to support a Necrophagist, Storm Bolters, and Power Fists. Plague Marines need to get behind cover. Now they are warp vomited and will be forced off. There we go. Warp Vomit's such a strong stun, and StaRz is pushing back up the west side. Needs to push faster. What is he waiting there for? 307, 177. Maybe he thinks there's still stuff there. Doesn't want to push against it. Purifier is chasing down his Terminators, and they will own a standard Terminator squad. Got all that support there, they had to go. There's a Melter Bomb on the Land Raider. Can they finish it off? That is so close to going down. 84 hit points. Brother Captain's there, but he cannot get a anti-vehicle weapon. Does have his halberd though. Can he finish off this Land Raider? Lasgun's trying to finish it off. That's not going to work. 52 hit points. A creeping barrage. 279, 177. Why didn't the Manticore fire again? Maybe it did. Look at this, Paladins on the field for РАЗБЕГ. Terminator variants with these demon hammers, which are anti-vehicle melee heavy weapons, and they do huge DPS. There's a big stomp. Touch of Nurgle on the heretics. 279, 177. Huge engagement at red team's natural. Looks like it's dispersed, and they will take it back. Landry Redeemer is still alive, being repaired by sluggers and scouts. It's going to take them a while though. It takes a long time to repair 2,500 hit points. Terminators are capping, and Warboss is going to push against this power. Red team have really fallen apart last few minutes. That big push against the Land Raider didn't quite pay off. johnsoul losing that Dreadnought, which is doing so well. Level 5 Plague Champion though. The Plague Fist is a heavy melee weapon, though it's only 72 DPS. Will take down that Land Raider if he's given enough time to smack it. Repairs still ongoing. Apothecary in retreat. The Land Raider Redeemer itself acts as a retreat point, but looks like he hasn't activated it because the Apothecary just ran past it there. Plague Champion needs to retreat though. Here comes a Knob Squad, Weird Boy. 279, 154. That was the frag assault, the grenade launchers on the front of the Land Raider there, but didn't hit anything. Havoc setting up, but it easily forced off by the Knob Squad. He used Frenzy, making him immune to damage and suppression, but now it's worn off. Does not last very long these days. 279, 154. There's a battery pack heal on Knob Squad though. Forcing off those Chaos Space Marines. Looks like they have Marco Zinch. Yes, level 3. East side kicking off. 279, 154. Beamy Looter getting shots, but it's not really going to hit these guardsmen. РАЗБЕГ is still around. This thing's level 3, very nearly level 4. Now it is level 4. Over 500 hit points. Doesn't have the armor upgrade either. 279, 154. Land Raiders still getting repairs. I think it was a big blow for Red Team when they didn't take it down, when it was down so low on hit points. 1-to-1 cap. Nobody capping east side. Our guardsmen are trying to. Hell Fury strike. Global from Grey Knights. Red Team, can they finish this cap? Terminators here with an assault cannon. Huge single target damage to infantry. Gonna eat a Manticore strike though. Teleport out of it. And there's a foot of Gork, and that thing really hurts. It will wipe out a setup team if it hits all of the models instantly. Devastators, Havocs, forget about it, they're gone. 279, 154. Plague Champion taking on all comers here. He's level 5, going to go down to these sluggers though, I think. Yes, should have used Aura of Decay there if it was available. 279, 154, 1-to-1 cap still. There's a Psychic Field I see. Purify's backing off though. Huge amount of pressure now from blue team. We have a Marco Zinch Chaos Dreadnought now. Havoc set up, suppressing all of this stuff, and that's a Manticore strike. That was a really good combination of stuff there, but they did retreat out. Land Raider Redeemer is still around. 273, 154. Warboss taking damage, but he's level 4 with heavy armor, has so much hit points. Purify's chasing him and made him back off at least. Also has the boss pole, of course, giving him even more health. Here are those paladins passively buffing their allies. And we have some Grey Knight Terminators as well. They have a side cannon armed and are getting alive with the moniker. These guys do splash damage, power melee. Paladins and Terminators, not very often you see both of them around in the same game from the same player. This is going to be awesome. The Paladins also have a side cannon, and they're going straight after this Land Raider, but they get stunned by the Weird Boy. Such a powerful stun. Look at that, completely shutting down Terminators and Paladins there. Weird Boy getting shots. 273, 128. Land Raider Redeemer does go down. Looks like something got a rear, a hit on the rear, not a rear armor hit. You can't get rear armor hits on Land Raiders, but then it crashes into something and explodes. I think it was the Plague Marines who got last shot, I'm not sure. But those Paladins would have ripped into pieces. They need to reinforce. Grey Knight Terminators badly need healing up as well, so they're both heading back to base. 273, 114, 1-to-1 cap, and east side is being taken by a strike squad there, who I think have the Nemesis focus upgrade. Here's Plague of Undead. Global ability of the Plague Champion. You don't see it all that often. He has such good globals. 273, 114. Sorry about that if you heard. That was just the phone ringing. Nothing in the game. 269. And the 2-to-1 cap for red. So they're slowly ticking down these VPs, but can they hold on? Blue team have pretty insane armies. StaRz with the Knob Squad, Fashkits, and a Painboy. Necrophagist with Terminators. Handsome with this crazy level 5 Warboss and a looted tank. But look at РАЗБЕГ, Paladins and Grey Knight Terminators both up. But can they get into the engagements and make a difference here? Also has this strike squad level 3 and level 2 purifiers. 22, 55 hit points on these guys. Taking too much damage there though, and run away. Warboss using a stomp in anticipation, but didn't need to. And caps the east side. Now it's a 2-to-1 for blue. Baneblade up for SuperHooper, super heavy tank. That's the Demolisher Cannon. Wow, taking out 3 tactical marines. That was crazy. Pretty much counters everything from range, but we'll need to be careful with that Knob Squad or other very, very powerful melee squads. Looks like they're going after the Chaos Dreadnought now. Mekboy has buffed them with the super tough beam. 254, 97. Here come the Paladins to have a go at them. Paladin DPS is nothing to joke around with. It's higher than Assault Terminators with their hammers. And Knob Squad run away. Plague Champion is there. Looks like they get away. A battery pack heal as they retreated there. Or was it the Painboy? It might have been the Painboy who's forcing off Havoc here, doing very, very well. That guy does some good damage. 254, 80. 2-to-1 cap for blue. Huge engagement in mid. Apothecary lives. No, he doesn't. I think the Baneblade finished him off with one of its twin heavy bolters. Weird Boy level 3 has been so powerful. Look how much hit points he has. That's crazy. 1573 hit points. Warboss moving in. Can he tie something up, or is he going to go straight for that Baneblade? Looks like he's going to retreat. That's what he was going to do. 2-to-1 cap. What was that? Was that over there? I'm not sure. I think it was. Weird Boy's level 3. This is Handsome's. StaRz lost tons and tons of stuff there. And we have Chaos Terminators with Lightning Claws up. That is crazy. We have Grey Knight Terminators, Paladins, and Chaos Terminators on the same team alongside a Baneblade. Good luck, blue team. Can they hold against this? 252, 63. Blue team are capping east. Grey Knight Terminators teleporting in, passively draining energy and doing that nasty splash damage. Baneblade backing them up as well. Sluggers trying to fight the Grey Knight Terminators, not going to work out well for them. And down they go. Heavy turret dropped as well from SuperHooper, and Terminators for the Grey Knights will cap. We have 2 Terminator squads for Necrophagist. He doesn't have a whole lot else though. What's going on mid? Heretics still capping a power node at this point. There's the double for red, and surely they have this now. They've just built up really insane armies. Marcos each dread, those Chaos Terminators, Paladins, Grey Knight Terminators, Baneblade, StaRz and Necrophagist. I think just lost too much stuff there. When that Land Raider went down, it was the beginning of the end, I think. 19863, triple cap. Can they take down this Dreadnought at least? Looted tanks chasing. One more shot, down it goes. Maybe can hunt down this Manticore. I don't think he knows it's there though. Paladins are way, way deep in enemy territory, and Terminator variants cannot retreat. So that is a very, very long walk back to their base, if they even bother. They're going after this looted tank now, and they take it out as well. Can they teleport away here? Losing a model. Missile launcher getting hit. Terminators are large targets, so anti-vehicle weapons will hit them. Manticore strike. Boom. That was nasty. I think that's... Oh, down go the Paladins. I think that was Dark Excommunication that we saw there from the Grey Knights Global Bar. 118, 63, Weirdboy finishing off those Paladins. Red team dominating the east side, and they have a triple. Can they hold on? Both StaRz and Necrophagist floating a lot of resources. What are they going to go for though? Necrophagist going for a Predator tank. StaRz, is he waiting for a battle wagon or something? I assume he is. 86, 63, double cap. Red team holding on for now. They are natural under assault though by a crap ton of Orks. Also Terminators there, buffing with every kill. You saw that buff there. Shooters forced off by a good Manticore strike from SuperHooper. Has really used this thing well. It's level 3, kept it out of trouble and has hit it a bunch of times as well as forcing things off. Purifies alongside the brother captain, who is level 4, now has Holy Armor of Titan and Psychic Lash. Purified running away. These guys level 3, 24, 80 hit points. They still could not fight a Nob Squad though. There's a Rox trying to take out the Baneblade, but it survives. Nob Squad now going after it. You can get rear armor hits on a Baneblade, but those are Chaos Terminators, Lightning Claws going after them. Momentum is full for those knobs now, give it to them, but a huge Ammers. There's an Orbital Bombardment, 46, 63, down goes the Baneblade. Crazy stuff. Red team are still hanging on for 2-1. Down goes the Apothecary. He's level 5 now. Warboss level 6, Mekboy level 6, fully kitted out, beam with Death Gun, battery pack and super tough beam. Warboss will try and take over this cap. Knocked off it by a Manticore strike, but he doesn't care. He's going to care if these Chaos Terminators start attacking him though. But they leave him alone. There we go. Can they finish him off as he retreats? No, just has so much hit points. He's switched to the trophy rack though, so has a bit less. That might have saved him. 20, 163, a Rox on the VP on these Terminators. Boom. Knocks them off the cap. Will they just get up and start capping again though? 6, 63, and there is the game. And red team take it. Looks like the players were having to make do with a lot of lag there. Wow. Crazy stuff. I'm sure I missed tons of it. Let's look at the commanders. Warboss at level 6. Very scary. Fully kitted out with that power claw. Apothecary was down at the end. Not sure what he had. Let's have a look. Looks like he had the power axe. Anointed power axe. StaRz. Mekboy level 6. Back at base here. The Plague Champion level 10 for johnsoul. With the classic Plague Fist, Armor of Pestilence, and Icon of Nurgle. Look at this awesome pose at the end as well. Is that him using a Pestilence Strike? I think it was just a special attack. RAZBEG, level 4, Brother Captain. Came through in the end with those Paladins and Terminators. Holy Armor of Titan, Halberd, and Psychic Lash. And the Lord General also did very well. Level 7, the Sniper Rifle and Stabilizers. No sign of any retinue members purchased throughout the game that I didn't see. These Chaos Terminators just surviving at the end. But there you have it guys, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.